So how do you connect your Google Drive to Make.com? These are just a couple of the questions that I've received on this, and I'm sure that there's many others out there who ask the same question. And hey, I've got to admit, it was a bit tricky for me as well. I mean, after all, I'm not a developer. Now, if you are new around here, my name is Nicole, and I have been building and optimizing frameworks, tools, and processes for the last decade. That's been my job in life. So for today's video, I'm going to go through step by step in a beginner friendly fashion how to connect your Google Drive to Make.com. So if you're struggling with this just may well help you as well. Now, one quick point of note, I've actually got this step-by-step instruction in a Google Doc as well, which I will have linked in the description below. So I would recommend to go check out that link, grab a coffee or your drink of choice, and meet me at the computer. Okay, so here we are at the computer and we're at the Google Cloud Console. We're going to first have to add a project. So we select a project. I've got some here. Just click New Project. It's going to go to this new window. Just change the name and then click Create. There you go. That's it. So you need to have a project first if you don't have one already. Then you're back here at the Google Cloud Console. From this page, now you do not have to have a paid subscription or anything like that or be on a tier. You can use this with any personal Google account as well. But here on the Google Cloud Console, you'll see the API library. So in the library, this is where we're going to need to enable our Google Drive. So scroll down, Google Workspace, you'll see the Google Drive API. So you click on that and give it a second to open. There we go. Now I have mine enabled, as you can see, API enabled, but I could click Manage, but there it should say Enable. I'm going to go back and I'll show you what I mean. Eventually go back. If I scroll back down again, I can see Google Calendar. I don't have that enabled. So see, it says Enable there. So if I click that, that would be basically what you need to do with Google Drive. So let's go back now. And then the next thing we're going to need to do is we're going to have to add some relevant scope. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So from here, where we're going to do, what we've got to do is go to the APIs and services area. There, just give it a second to load, please. And on the left, you see there's a number of different selections here. We've got library, credentials, page, but we're going to go to OAuth consent screen. So that's just open authorization consent screen. Okay, so for here, this is where we need to make sure that we've got our scopes. On the right-hand side, there's a bunch of questions like FAQs, as it were. You can go through these one at a time, but I'm just going to close that side panel. We don't really need it. That's the project that we have, the Make.com, and we're going to see, you can just scroll down. You see all of the different things you can look at, but we're just going to go Edit App. So from here, again, we've got a handy dandy side menu. We'll close it out. So we've got the app name. We've got all of the relevant information, right? So we definitely want to add a domain, just added make.com, which is fine. Integromat is what it used to be called. Now in here, that's the OAuth. Once you click Save, you go into this Scopes section. So we want to add or remove scopes. So we want to add some scopes. So we're going to click in this section. There's nothing really below it, by the way. Add or remove scopes right there. Click it. And there is a list of all the scopes that kind of come up on this side menu bar here. I've got 42. So I'm going to just scroll to the right until I get to Drive D. See Google Drive. So that's how I knew it was there. The ones that we want to make sure that we have are all listed in the description below, but we definitely want to make sure that we've got the drive.file, drive.metadata read-only, and then drive.read-only. Don't you worry about that. Again, they're all linked in the document in the description below. So if you do not have that there, you can just click on the add or remove and you can add them in. It's pretty straightforward from there, but you can just kind of review all of the ones that you have. So you can just add them right in there, click add, done. But if you've already got them, don't add them twice. So that's the whole idea. So we're going to save and continue. The next two sections really don't matter. Like we're not going to need that for the make.com integration at all. But what we need to do is we got to go into the credentials because we need to now include the redirects. So what we're going to allow. So you can go into this is the name of your project. I called it make. That's a hyperlink and it'll bring you here. So you can authorize JavaScript. I really don't know what that means, but authorize the redirect URIs. These are the ones that you want. So if you see the beginning, it's us1.make.com. So this is really important. This has to do with the location parameters. So go into your make.com, make sure you're logged in. At the top, if it says www, use that. But I have us1.make.com. So that's my location parameter. Make note of what you have because you may have a different one depending on your location, i.e. if you're in Europe. I'm in Canada and it still says US. So then these are the different redirect URIs. Again, I have them all listed in the description below in the Google Doc. So make sure you add all of these. And then once you're done, you can copy and paste and copy and paste. You just click save. So we let that save. There we go. So the next thing we need to do is to make sure that this is published. So we go back to our OAuth. You can see in production. Mine's in production. I can go back to testing. Yours is probably in testing. So instead of that, just make sure that you click put into production so that it is actually working because otherwise this will just refresh all the time and it'll break a lot faster. So once we have that all saved, now we can go back into make.com. Now from make.com, what we're going to do is go into our connections. We're going to look for our Google Drive. This first one for me is my Google Sheets connection, I believe. I'm going to scroll to the bottom. There's my Google Drive connection. Now what you can do is delete yours. I'm not going to delete mine because it might break some of my current connections, but just you can click delete because we want to start over again. But don't worry, we're going to recreate the connection. So we'll go into scenarios and we're going to create a new scenario. And this new scenario is going to help us to reconnect back to our Google Drive. We're going to start with tools and then we're going to go into our increment function, I believe is what it's called. So we'll go into tools and there's the increment because we just want to test once. We only go one at a time. So that's fine. We're going to click OK, just move that over. I'm going to add in Canva. So the scenario I'm going to run is just to export a design from Canva, put it into Google Drive. So we've scrolled down to find export a design right there. Boop. And we're going to choose the folder. So I don't have anything in folders really. So it's just there. The design ID, we're going to go down to I've got way too many. I definitely need to put these into folders. The dog quotes. We did this one a couple of weeks ago. So it's that one. The type is a PNG and not PPTX. That's PowerPoint. PNG. There we go. Get with it, Nicole. We're going to change the height to 1,000 and the width to 1,000 because we just want to have that height. And then the page is going to be the first one from our tools, right? That first increment, and then it'll be the next and the next. Now we're going to connect our Google Drive. So the new module, Google Drive, and what we want to do is upload a file. So we're just going to go through this part first. So we're going to select the folder from a list. We're going to use the dog breeds folder. The file name is going to be from the tools, .png. This is the really important part, .png. And then the data is going to come from Canva. Now I'm going to make this bigger so we can see. We want to make sure that we've added our connection. So here I already have my connection. Just sign in with Google. Bottom right-hand corner, sign in and go through the regular sign-in screens. You're probably familiar with that. Then we click OK. There we go. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our Google Drive. So here's my Google Drive. I'm just going to do a refresh so we can see where it is. This is the most recent things that are in my Google Drive. Let's go back to Canva so we can run the scenario once. Let's do this. And if everything works, then everything should be connected in your Google Drive. So I'll be exporting the design from Canva. It's now going to go into the Google Drive. It does take a second sometimes. Let's see how it goes. It says it's done. We're going to go into our Google Drive, refresh. And there it is, 1.png. And we're going to double click to open it just to make sure. Eventually. Et voila, here it is. Very good. So there you have it. Hopefully you'll only have to do this once and then you set it and forget it. But this handy dandy guide should help you if you need to recreate this or do this for a client of yours. Anyway, if you have any other questions on the connections or on workflows that you might need for your business, then please leave a comment below. Happy to help. And of course, if you did find this information helpful and useful, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that subscribe button and of course the bell icon so you don't miss any other videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have an awesome day.